Hello friends, welcome to the second experiment of fluid mechanics, that is electrical analogy. This experimental setup is very useful. Perhaps the concept itself is useful. The equipotential surface in fluid mechanics and equipotential surface in electrostatics, or the current electricity, they are very much analogous to each other. The way in which the equipotential surface behaves in case of electrostatics, in the similar manner the equipotential surfaces behaves in case of fluid mechanics also. So we are going to use that concept of equipotential surface or say equipotential line in case of electricity, and we are going to we are going to compare that surface or say that curve, not surface. In this instrument we will be getting the equipotential curve, and that equipotential curve will be exactly similar to that of the equipotential surface in case of fluid mechanics. And once we get the equipotential surface, by drawing the perpendicular curves or say the perpendicular lines to this equipotential surface, we can get the streamline of the fluid flow. So what is the arrangement for the electrical analogy apparatus? I will show you. This is the electrical supply, and we are having 2-3 knobs over here. One is this red colored one, and whose potential, this red colored one is at the potential of 5 volt plus 5 volt supply. This black colored one is at 0 volt supply, and this is neutral. This yellow colored, basically the knob of this one is yellow. This wire I have connected is of red color. Now this red colored wire, which is at the potential of 5 volt plus 5 volt, is connected to this end. Here there is acrylic sheet and one particular shape of the sheet, T-shaped surface, flat surface over here. And this red colored 5 volt supply is connected to the copper sheet. You can see the copper sheet over here from this is the transparent one. So you can see the copper sheet, and the 5 volt supply is given to this copper sheet directly. Next, 0 volt supply, the black colored wire, it is taken from this black colored knob, is given to another copper sheet over here. It is at this end. This is another copper sheet over here, and we have connected this wire, this is 0 volt supply, to this another copper sheet. Now obviously now this copper sheet is connected to 5 volt supply, and this copper sheet is connected to 0 volt supply. So there will be somewhat potential difference across these two plates, right? Now inside this we have poured some water just to have some conductivity, and that too the salty water, we have added some salt, sodium chloride kind of salt into this one. And just below this acrylic sheet there is a graph paper, right? Now as this surface is at the potential of plus 5 volt, this surface is at the potential of 0 volt. So there has to be a potential difference across these two plates, and that potential difference is distributed over this water, the salty water. You can see this salty water over here, and at various locations what potential, electric potential is there, that we can measure with the aid of this knob. Now this is the knob, you can see this is the pointer, and this is connected to basically the voltmeter, and the display over here will show you continuously the potential difference available across the neutral terminal and this terminal. Now right now this is at 0 potential, so it is showing, see, you can see that. Okay, I told you that this plate is at 5 volt potential. I can show you. See, when I touch this plate over here, you can see this is 5 volt. I have touched this knob, this pointer, to this copper plate. Once I touch it, you can see the potential at this copper plate is about, if I bring the steady state, see there is some corrosion over there. So that's why there, as there is a corrosion, so there will be again a potential drop, and that's why it is showing little less. But when I scratch it and if I press, if I hold this knob with a press fit, if I press it, you can see it's a 5 volt voltage. Whereas if I check out the potential over here, you can see it's 0 volt voltage, since we have connected it to 0 volt supply, right? Now there exists a potential difference across these two plates into the salty water, and if I touch this knob at anywhere in between, you can see the voltage is 2.7 volt. If I go closer to this 5 volt plate, then the potential will increase. If I go from this plate which is at 5 volt towards that plate which is at 0 volt, you can see the potential is decreasing. So it is 2, now it is 1.8, 1.5, and finally it will be 0, something like this. So there exists somewhat potential difference between these two plates. Now what we are going to do is, we are going to find out the equipotential line. For example, the equipotential line itself, or say the surface is over here, copper plate, but this is at 4 volt supply. What about the 4 volt? What will be the point into this region who has the potential of 4 volt? So I need to check it out. say by moving this from this plate, which is at 5 volt, from here, if I go towards this another plate which is of 4 volt, sorry 0 volt, then you can see the potential drop is there. See, now if you come closer, you can see that there is a just a minute. If you come closer, you can see that there is a graph paper we have fitted below this one. Okay. If you come closer, you can see that there is a graph paper into this one. यहाँ पे बस पानी है. You can see this water. I mean, just a layer of water of about 1 mm height approximately. So, and that too the salty water. So it is a conducting. So if I move this knob, if I move this pointer from this plate to that plate, say along y-axis, if I consider this as the x-axis, this is the x-axis over here. You can see the lining over here. I hope you can see it. If I bring it closer, see, this is 0 coordinate, this is the positive x-axis, this is negative x-axis, this is positive y-axis towards the 0 potential plate, copper plate, and this is negative y-axis and it is coming towards another copper plate which is provided at the potential of 5 volt over there. Now, if I hold it like this. Now, if I move the pointer, see here the voltage is clearly 5 volt. Can you see this? Okay, it is 5 volt, right? Now, come over here. I think it will be better to hold it aside. Okay. Now, if I move my pointer along y-axis from the bottommost point of the y-axis till coordinate 0, then somewhere I will get 4 volt. See, here somewhere I'm getting 4 volt voltage, right? Now, if I check out what are the coordinates of this point, I will say the coordinates of this point are, see, this is 3.9 something. So the coordinates of this point are, x coordinate is 0 since I have taken the point on the y-axis, and y coordinate is, I think it is minus 12.5. So I would like to note down that point where the 4 volt potential is having, see, x coordinate is 0 and y coordinate is minus 12.5. So this is the point belonging to 4 volt. So how much other points are there which are belonging to 4 volt? So 4 volt supply, 4 volt supply, so 4 volt potential. How much are these points? Now what I am going to do is, I am going to increase the x coordinate. Now if I move for the x coordinate means earlier in the first reading x coordinate was 1, sorry, x coordinate was 0. Now I am going to move towards x coordinate 1 and I am going to check down for x coordinate is equals to 1 at what y coordinate I am having the same potential. Say the potential to be something, say 4 volt. How much is that? Say something, again it is coming, say like 12.5. Again it is coming. I mean, see, there are a lot of points you need to get. So for again 1 volt, sorry, 1 x coordinate 1, y coordinate is also minus 12.5. If I go for next coordinate, x coordinate is equal to 2, y coordinate I may be getting something, maybe if I take down the reading, so I may get it to be equal to minus 12. If I go for the x coordinate 3, again shift over that side, and if I check out at what point or at what y coordinate I am getting voltage to be 4 volt, then that may be, it may goes up to say minus 11, something like that. And you will be taking down the reading, all the readings for 4 volt. Now 1, 2, 3, 4 up to what say about 10 x coordinates, say 10 various points on x axis, say like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 10. Once you get along the positive x axis, check out the points on negative x axis where the potential is 4 volt. So you take down minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4 and up to minus 10, you will get corresponding y coordinates for which the potential is 4 volt. So once you get all the coordinates of the 4 volt potential, I can say that all these points, if I plot down these points onto the graph paper, I can surely say that all these points are at the same potential, that is of 4 volt electrical voltage, right? So next, once 4 volt equipotential curve is obtained, then go for the voltage V is equal to 3 volt. Check out where is V is equal to 3 volt along y axis. Check out their coordinates and increase x coordinate step by step by step of 1 and check out what is the, at what y coordinate you are getting the potential of 3 volt, right? And in that way you will get x coordinate and y coordinate of various points, maybe about 10 20 different points. Then you go for the voltage equal to 2 volt, voltage equal to 2 volt, and get the graph, right? Get all these points. So like that you are going to check out the equipotential curves, equipotential points at different locations, and their coordinates you are going to find out, right? Now what will be the nature of the graph, that we will see onto the board. Now say this is the top view, this is the top view of that apparatus where we had taken the salty water. Say the apparatus. Now here there was a copper plate, I repeat, here there was a copper plate, and this copper plate was at plus 5 volt, and another copper plate was over here, and this copper plate is at 0 volt, and the coordinate axis were over here. The coordinate axis were over here. This was the x axis and this was the y axis, right? Now what we did is, for 4 volt we checked out for 4 volt supply, I mean for 4 volt equipotential curve. What we did is, we moved the pointer somewhere on the y axis. Remember, this surface is entirely, it is a graph paper. It is entirely the graph paper. So at every point we can measure the x coordinate and the y coordinate. So this is the entirely the graph paper. So various x and y coordinates you can note down. So various x and y coordinate you can note down. Now what we have done at the beginning, for 4 volt we have taken a point somewhere. See, here the voltage is 5 volt, at here the voltage is 0 volt. So there is a potential difference between these 2 points, and if I move from this point to that point, the potential will keep on decreasing. So if I move little distance ahead, so somewhere I will get the potential of 4 volt, right, at this point. So we have noted down what are the coordinates of this point. So we found these coordinates to be some x coordinate and y coordinate. X coordinate over here is 0, y coordinate I told you in the first heading minus 12.3 centimeters something, right? Next we have moved little right side, so that the x coordinate is now, the x coordinate is 1. So for x coordinate 1, at what y coordinate we are getting the equipotential line, or say the voltage as 4 volt. So at that point also, for x is equal to 1, I am getting minus 12.3 as the y coordinate, where the potential is being the same. That is 4 volt. Now if I take down the second, third, fourth point, maybe somewhere at the fourth point, say 1, 2, 1, select 1, 2, 3, 4, somewhere over here, x coordinate is 4 and y coordinate I am getting it to be equal to minus of 12. So the point will be somewhere over here. So if I take down the different points and plot all these points onto the graph paper, I will be getting the curve to be something like this. I will be getting the curve points to be something like this. Say something maybe, actually these points will be more curved if I go ahead in the forward direction. At here they will be little flat, something like this. So if I join all these points by a smooth curve, I will be getting a curve to be something like this. Now one thing is very clear, that all the points onto this curve are at the same potential, that is V is equal to 4 volt, that is for sure. So I can say that this curve is being equipotential curve, and that too of the voltage 4 volt. 4 volt is the potential at this curve, and I can take down, if I take down any point over here, that will be at the same potential, that will be equal to 4 volt. Now if I shift up to the next step, I mean again you are going to repeat the readings. So take down x and y for 3 volt. For 3 volt, check out what are the coordinates of this 3 volt point. So move along the y axis some little ahead, somewhere here you are getting 3 volt supply. 3 volt as the potential at this point and the neutral point. So mark that point. Again increase the x coordinate by 1. Say maybe यहाँ पे x coordinate 0 आएगा, तो y coordinate maybe something minus 10 आ जाएगा. X coordinate 1 ले लिया तो it may be minus 10 again. X coordinate 2 maybe minus 9.5 something. Such kind of readings will be there. Taking down these readings take down a lot of time. Since this, I mean, first of all, the Redwood viscometer, it take down 3 to 4 hours to complete the entire experimentation, and even the electrical analogy also take down at least 2 hours to complete it, right? So I haven't taken all the readings. I am simply explaining the concept in which you are supposed to take down the readings, right? So I have taken the random readings, perhaps the other readings of the previous batches I have already shared with you. So if I plot down all these points which are belonging to 3 volt supply, I'll be getting the points to be something like this. The points to be something like this. If I join all the curves, I'll be getting one more curve. If I join all the points by a smooth curve, I'll be getting one more curve. And that curve is again belonging to one more equipotential surface, or say the curve that is belonging to 3 volt. So if I take down any point onto this curve, I'm sure that that point will be at the potential of 3 volt. Right? Like that, repeat the process for 2 volt, you will get the curve to be something like this. Repeat the process for 1 volt, you will get the curve to be something like this. Right? So this curve is of 2 volt, this curve is of 1 volt. So all these are the equipotential curves. Right? Now into this curvature, if I try to draw the perpendicular curvatures, the curves which are perpendicular to these equipotential curves, I will be getting the curve to be like this. For example, if I try to get the perpendicular over here, it may, see, the nature of the arrangement is such that this curve will be little flat. Here at these corners, wherever there is a sudden contraction, the curves will be, the bend will be more, and over here again the curve will be little flat, something like this. This will be the nature of the equipotential surface in this case. You can see here it is again bent, much bent like this. Okay, and here they are little flat. So if I try to get the perpendiculars to these curves, perpendicular to here is something like this. Here maybe something like this. Here maybe something like this. Here maybe something like this. So if I join these points, see, we have taken the equipotential curves at the difference of 1 volt. If we take down the equipotential curves at the difference of say 0.1 volt, then there will be multiple curves, and at every point if we try to get the perpendicular to that, the curve, one more curve we will get, and this curve is something like this. This curve is something like this. I think this is I have indicated by the yellow colored curve, and it is totally different. And like that, if I try to draw a few more curves taking down perpendicular to it, see, this is perpendicular to this equipotential curve, right? So at every point you can check out. So something like this. So this is one more curve. So if I try to get one more, so something, it will be something like this. So these yellow colored curves are the streamlines. These are what? The streamlines. Streamlines, or we can also say that these are what? For this curve which are equipotential, phi is equal to constant. This is phi is equals to, let us say it is phi 1. Here phi is equals to, let us say it is phi 2. So these are what? Equipotential. Whereas for these curves, psi will be constant. For this curve, psi 1, say for this curve, this is of psi 1, this is of psi 2, and something like this. These are what the these are the equipotential curves, okay, of constant potential function. These are what the streamlines of constant stream function. And if we check out the area enclosed by these curves, the smaller area enclosed by these curves. For example, this is one equipotential curve and this is another equipotential curve, and these are two streamline or say the constant stream function curve, and the area enclosed by this is known to be what? The flow net. This area is known to be what? This is known to be what? The flow net. Flow net of the fluid flow, right? So this curve you are supposed to obtain with the aid of electrical analogy. I hope everything is clear to you. In case if you are having any doubt, feel free to ask me at any time, anywhere. Thank you.